Well, after the heavy snowfall that we saw these past few days, the snow has now turned to mush for many of us on those roads. Let's chat now with meteorologist Thomas Patrick, who is outside, because Thomas, we saw icy roads last night. Should we be concerned about that again tonight and tomorrow?
And the answer is yes, and even more so, because when we were out in the storm tracker earlier today at 4, 5, and 6 o'clock, it was all still slushy conditions. But when I took my dinner break at around 8 o'clock, boy, did the roads just go straight to icy conditions, and that's where we're at right now. It is super important that everybody be cautious and on their guard, because there is a lot of black ice on the roadways. We're obviously below the freezing mark, but it was just that melted snow from the fairly warmer day we had today. It was 39. Some of that snow melting, creating water mainly on the sides of those roads, but enough water on the roads themselves to pretty much sheet over and glaze over all that concrete and asphalt. So it is going to be very icy tonight. Temperatures right now at 30 degrees, a bit of a brisk wind still, but at least not as windy as it was earlier today with near 55-mile-per-hour winds down in Pullman. But conditions should be clearing out. So again, not actively snowing, not actively freezing, raining, but it is very icy out there for tonight and will be for tomorrow morning.
Thomas, thank you so much. And taking a look at this video from the park in Kendall Yards, this video was actually taken by our own Tim Pham. The field looks like a lake right about now. The inches of snow dumped on us recently is all melting away. And by the way, the city is asking you to help with the pooling water in your neighborhood. Make sure to clear away snow from any nearby storm drains. If you don't know where the closest drain is to your house, check out the city's website to find out. An avalanche closed the westbound lane of I-90 near the Montana-Idaho border. The highway is shut down until further notice from St. Regis to Lookout Pass. We haven't heard of any reports or injuries at this time. The Montana Department of Transportation isn't sure when the interstate will reopen and plan to reevaluate conditions tomorrow. We reached out to Lookout Pass Ski Resort. They'll remain open since their terrain isn't as avalanche prone. Now, these path closures that we're seeing in Washington are causing headaches for just about everyone, especially students, as they try to come back for a brand new semester. KREM 2's Kyle Simchuk spoke to one family to see what their plan is now.
Well, yeah, Cody, there's a lot of Cougs in Western Washington that need to get back to Pullman. Classes at WSU were supposed to start on Monday. The university has pushed back the start of the semester now till Wednesday.
WSU junior George Fitzgerald has found himself stuck on the wrong side of the Cascade Mountains.
My original plan was Saturday, and I wanted to have that full day to kind of have a cushion to get myself in the school headspace and unpack all my stuff.
He drove home for winter break weeks ago. Now his drive back is delayed, and his mom,
I might have time to make cookies to send back with him.
well, she's actually thrilled.
Any time that I can spend with George is great. But I know that he wants to get back to see his friends and get going on his classes.
The Washington Department of Transportation says it's making progress on clearing several of the state's mountain passes where conditions are still dangerous. WSDOT says last night, 38 natural avalanches came down onto the highway on the west side of the pass. Maintenance crews are using plows, blowers, and graders to clear a path and look at just how much snow they're dealing with. WSDOT says they still have trees and other debris to clear. The goal is to open Snoqualmie and other passes by Sunday, and roads could get very busy.
I worry more so about other people driving. I'm very confident in his driving skills.
Kind of got to play it by ear whether or not Snoqualmie will be possible with traffic and everyone that's going to be going then. So might end up going Stevens Pass that way.
And again, Washington State University is canceling classes Monday and Tuesday. They're texting and emailing students to take their time and be careful driving back to Pullman. In the newsroom, Kyle Simchuk, KREM 2 News.
Kyle, thank you so much. And again, Snoqualmie Pass remains closed tonight and is expected to stay closed until Sunday. White Pass, Stevens Pass, and Blewett Pass will also likely stay closed until Sunday. According to the Washington State Department of Transportation, the extreme weather caused hazardous conditions such as falling trees and avalanche dangers for their crews to be in those mountain pass areas. Now, these pass closures are also impacting your local grocery store by keeping trucks from making deliveries. KREM 2 checked out Rose Hours today, and their shelves were full with the exception of a few items. And it's food that's delivered from western and southeastern Washington. With all the passes closed right now, delivery trucks are stuck and can't make it to the Spokane area until the routes reopen. Rose Hours manager Harry Wilson says the truck delivering their Huckleberry specialty items is delayed by 2 days. That's why a few items in that section aren't available. Wilson says to not worry though, because the food is coming, just slower than normal.
To be perfectly honest, these are all going to be short-term things. You know, the chicken's still coming in, it just comes in later. We find alternatives. You know, it's all working out. It's inconvenient though.
Again, WSDOT says passes will likely stay closed until Sunday. Grocery stores like Rose Hours expect to finally receive their delayed shipments soon after that happens. Switching gears, was a big night for an Eastern Washington Eagle because quarterback Eric Berrier is bringing home quite the trophy. Isn't that right, Travis?
Yeah, Cody. Second time's the charm for Eric Berrier after missing out on winning the Walter Payton Award last year by just 6 votes. Berrier finally wins the trophy for the most outstanding offensive player in FCS football. In 2021, Berrier threw for 5,070 yards, 46 touchdowns, and just 8 interceptions with a jaw-dropping average of 390 passing yards per game. Quite the stats, you could say. Berrier also ran for 470 yards and 4 touchdowns. His performance helped lead the Eagles to a 10-3 record with an appearance in the FCS playoffs. With 2021 being his final season in an Eagle uniform, Berrier finished ranked 3rd all-time in FCS in total offensive yards with 15,394, 3rd in passing yards with 13,809, and tied for 4th in career passing touchdowns with 121. All of which are Eastern Washington and Big Sky Conference career records. It certainly felt like a long time coming for the Eagles quarterback, who said it was a goal of his at the start of this season. Here's his reaction on Eastern Washington's Twitter account after winning the award.
This is Eric coming to you. Finally got towards Payton. Just want to thank y'all for supporting me. I want to thank my teammates. I want to thank the fans. I want to thank the staff. I want to thank all EW Athletics, because without this wouldn't be possible. And go Eagles.
How about that? Certainly well-deserved for Berrier, who broke just about any record you could as a quarterback, as you just heard me list them all off there for you. One heck of a career for Eastern Washington. Cody, I'll send it back over to you.
Travis, thank you so much. New tonight, an update on the number of kids getting vaccinated against COVID in our state. Over 25% have started the COVID vaccination process. More than 137,000 kids ages 5 to 11 are now fully vaccinated against the virus, according to the Washington State Department of Health. In the meantime, hospitals across Washington state say they're closer to a crisis situation as COVID cases surge. The Washington State Medical Association sent a letter to state leaders yesterday asking them to declare a crisis for medical facilities statewide. The association says there are about 1,100 COVID patients hospitalized across the state right now. That's nearly twice as many patients as just 1 month ago.
And just to be clear, within UW Medicine facilities, this is the largest number of COVID-19 inpatients we've had in the entire 2 years. And we're going to see this exact same trend in every single hospital in our state. If they haven't gotten there already, it's going to be there in days, 2 weeks.
Officials say an all-time high number of people in Washington are testing positive for COVID-19 right now. Meanwhile, Spokane is once again breaking records when it comes to COVID cases. 852 new coronavirus cases were reported today. At the peak of the pandemic, the highest number we recorded was 714, meaning this is the 3rd day in a row that we have broken that record. Currently, 80 people are hospitalized, according to Spokane Regional Health District. Over in North Idaho, 213 new cases reported today. While they're faring way better than we are in cases, their hospitalizations are actually similar. 78 people are currently hospitalized. That's according to the Panhandle Health District. Well, still to come, a lawsuit against North Idaho College has been resolved. What went into the resolution after the break?